mixes up his laser game, particularly the laser heights. So one thing that we saw like Mango kind of, I wouldn't say popularized, but like people became more aware of is the like lower laser that you can jump over. So if they power shield it, you still can like shoot a second laser and not get hit. But there's a level past that where you want to be shooting a laser so low that Marth can't power shield it.
Yeah.
And then there's also just making sure that you have a laser high enough that if he jumps over it, you're still able to cover that. So like they're different laser heights for different purposes, and you don't kind of just want to spam one. And usually it's the mark of like a much more solid player if they kind of are aware of that, if they're taking advantage of that, because it makes Marth's life a lot more difficult.
Right, and we're not really seeing that mix-up come into play yet because Gad has not like demonstrated the power shield on the laser yet, so Logos hasn't really had to worry about mixing it up so that he can power shield. So I think once like Gad starts presenting that threat, it'll get to the point where Logos will have to start mixing up a little more.
An interesting thing I learned, so related to the laser power shield thing, a lot of people are probably aware that like power shielding with Marth is easier because of his bugged shield, where basically like he can power shield. Like there's a couple of reasons, but the main reason is that his like shield, when he moves, it stays in the position, like kind of in a centered position. So like let's say if he crouches, his shield will still be as if he was standing. If he dashes back, his shield will still be as if he was standing like before he started dashing.
Yeah.
So people kind of are aware of that, but Samus has the exact same thing. I don't know if you knew that.
I knew other characters had it, but
it's just Samus.
Is it just Samus?
It's just Samus.
Interesting. Okay.
And so when I used to watch like Duck play, and I'd be like, this guy is a god of power shielding. Like he power shields everything. And now like some of the magic is gone, knowing that he has like just not like a little bit easier of time, but I think it is actually like 4 frames more or something. Like it is quite a much
Big
larger
difference,
window. Yeah.
For me as Puff, when I crouch, like I don't go for power shields on lasers much, but on like aerial sometimes. When got the edge cancel jump squat there thing. But it feels easier to power shield as Puff when I crouch too. But I know there's no bug shield, so I don't know if it's placebo or there's another effect going on. But maybe it just like gives me more time to react to their aerial coming in because I think crouching lower.
One thing that sometimes can happen is like you power shielding from the back of the shield as well.
Right. Okay.
And that might be easier if you're crouching because you kind of like can kind of hit it both sides. But the bug thing that makes Marth so strong is like obviously we all know Marth's dash is like kind of ridiculous. And the ability to like dash back, keep the shield in the same spot, and have that kind of leniency on the power shield makes it a really, really powerful option.
Yeah, Gad at a very high % here. This could be the stock. Yeah, Gad. This should be it. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a potential game for Gad here. Potential comeback if he can make it back here.
And you know, this is the moment where like, you know, you play Puff, you're kind of used to feeling like, look, if I just get a rest, I can turn this around. Well, Marth said the same thing where it's like, if I can just get a grab, if I can just get him off stage, like that is my moment. But doesn't give it to him. Logos takes the first game.
Yeah, and I think in best of threes, it's also this matchup. It definitely becomes a little better for Falco, I think, because you know no FD, and Falco can still choose either Yoshi's or Dreamland. So we're gonna go to Stadium here, or I guess we're going FD. I guess Logos might like this stage. Forget everything I just said. We're on FD, which is a Falco winning stage, according to Mango, probably.
I really do not think this stage is that bad for Falco. I think the matchup is kind of rough, but I think like if you have a really solid punish game, which you like can have, it is quite good. And unlike some of the platform stages where like, I know this is biased because I'm a Falco player, but I really think like Falco has like one of the hardest punish games in the entire game. Like it is very custom all the time, like just because of the way he like relies so heavily on like DI mix-ups and that kind of thing. And that's still true on FD, but it's much less true. Like he can kind of just pillar, if you get the pillar timing right, it's a lot more consistent. There's just like less like small optimizations that need to be made. We're seeing it right now. You more just kind of have certain situations where you can't extend it and you need to tech chase, and then certain situations where you can. And overall, like that gives you a lot of power in the matchup where normally Marth has a huge edge, I would say, in punish.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I'd like to see Gad swing a little bit less and dashing a little bit more, but I mean, also staying more grounded is only going to be fruitful if he's like hitting more power shields on lasers. But yeah, like these swings are getting called out super hard by Logos. Oh, that would have been a sick combo if he got the final dare there.
Yeah, this has been quite an impressive game from Logos so far. Just really, really good understanding of the punish game. I loved that double nair sequence. There's one of the first power shields I feel like we've seen. Definitely a huge part of making the matchup more difficult for Falco, I would say.
And this is a big pillar here too. Jumps out, but no jump, and Marth doesn't have great options coming down.
I feel like the Marth killer would have been so much safer there.
Yeah, I agree.
Beautiful shorten though.
Nice shorten. Yeah, I think Gad has also not been cleaning up these edge guards a lot when Logos is off stage, which is pretty important versus Falco.
Nice. I like the empty land though. This punish sequence has been pretty solid, but does drop it. I agree that like definitely this is the stage where you want to be like you have like a 70% chance of getting a 0 to death if you're like godlike punish as Marth, just because of how kind of consistent you could be. But yeah, I mean, good stuff.